You have to prune. You have to cut that stuff off. If you're going to do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. So you got to do something different. Change your patterns. Change your patterns in relationships. Change your patterns around money. Change your patterns. If it's not working, something needs to change. You're not going to solve the problem at the level of the problem, Einstein said. So you got to change something. Change your patterns, the way that you've always dealt with things. And then we have, of course, watering and feeding. That's our spiritual nourishment and our spiritual practices. I'm so grateful that we were able to go to the Anson Conference in Phoenix. I'm so grateful for these conferences that we go to be filled up, to be loved on by our colleagues, to be filled with inspiration and knowledge and rest and rejuvenation. It's vital. Otherwise, we have nothing to give you. We have nothing to give ourselves. We have nothing to give life. It's the same for you, whether it's a conference or whether it's your hammock. You have to have some way of filling up. It's important, or maybe it's bodily. Welcome back, by the way. You have to have something to fill you up. And then there's allowing, not getting in the way of that vision that you have set in motion, not getting in the way of it by planting more things on top of it, like, well, just in case that doesn't work out, I'm going to plant this too. And make sure I got all these things that are just possible. Instead of, no, that's what I really want. That's where I'm going. When we decided we really wanted to be the ministers of this church, the booking agent, that would be me, stopped booking. We didn't book any more jobs. Basically, we fired ourselves because we wanted this job. And we were so sure that if it wasn't this, it was going to be something better, and God was going to take care of the details. We were sure. So we stopped booking. Can you imagine? We just stopped booking. In our business, what we were doing before, you had to book 3 months out. So by stopping booking, that wasn't just that was like a ramifications for months after those 3 months. But we knew. So we didn't plant anything else. We focused on this because this is where we wanted to go. So I want to close this morning with something from the Science of Mind, 365 Science of Mind, wonderful little book. And it's all about living without fear. Because if we are taking care of love's garden, the garden of our soul, it's so important that we not water the fear, that we not put some fertilizer on the fear, that we not tell the stories that don't feel good anymore. So Ernest Holmes, founder of our teaching, Science of Mind, from A Year of Daily Wisdom, 365. Page 97, Living Without Fear. Fear robs memory of happiness because it dwells upon the limitations and morbidities of the past. It robs the future of pleasurable and enthusiastic anticipation because it casts a shadow of its past into the future. It robs today of the possibility of fulfillment because it denies the good we might experience in the moment in which we live. How much better it would be if we could think as a child thinks. How appropriate. They just went, oh, from the back, you know. Abandoning ourselves to the integrity of the miracle-working universe in which we live. If the warmth of the sun can melt an iceberg, why should it not follow that there must be something in us or operating through us that can dissolve any difficulty, remove any obstruction, or renew any human relationship that has been impaired? We should consciously practice having faith just as we would practice to become a musician. We should do mental exercises to build up our acceptance of good. The process is simple enough since it finally resolves itself into very simple affirmations of conviction, but there must be a persistency until finally all old thought patterns melt and give way to the new ones. Today, I cultivate the art of having faith. I affirm the reality of the divine presence in my life and deny everything that refutes it. I deny everything that refutes it. As a child turns to its parents, so do I turn to this infinite presence whose creative law can do all things, and I accept the influx of all that makes for richer living. Because nothing is impossible to God, I believe that nothing is impossible to me through God's power in me. Through God's power in me, everything is possible. I am daring to believe in the greater good. I am forsaking all that has held me in bondage and uniting myself with faith, with expectation, and with joy. I now live without fear. Be not overcome by evil, but overcome evil evil is the wrong way of thinking, the wrong use of the law of good in your life. All things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are ready to align themselves with the good that surrounds us at all times. I am forsaking all that has held me in bondage and uniting myself with faith, expectation, and joy. And now live without fear. So yes.